Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Angel Storm. I'm the founder of Ashes to Beauty Ministries. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm answering your questions today in this video, and specifically the question that I received this week was, can I heal from narcissistic abuse? And can I release the narcissist from having the stronghold in my life that they have while still being in a relationship or maintaining contact with the narcissist? I'm excited to answer this question. Thank you so much for submitting it to me. First of all, I think it's really important that we recognize that every single person is different and that every single situation is different. But as a general rule, I don't believe that you can heal in the same environment that you got hurt in. I don't believe that a wound can heal in the natural if you continuously are touching it, if you're continuously poking it, if you're continuously opening it again. And so the same is true for emotional wounds, for mental scars, and specifically when it comes to narcissistic abuse, there are so many levels and layers to the trauma, to the abuse that somebody has sustained, that somebody has gone through, that it's really difficult to heal in that environment, to maintain contact with the narcissist. And this is true for a few different reasons, so I want to kind of cover those in this video. First of all, people who are in narcissistic relationships or who have an ongoing relationship with a narcissist struggle with boundaries. And I've met plenty of people who say boundaries aren't the issue, it's this other thing, or it's the fact that the narcissist does blah 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 blah. I get it. I understand that all of those things have something to do with the state of the relationship, but ultimately the relationship would not be impacting you. It would not have so much of a stronghold over you or a pull on your emotions, on your mental well-being, on your physical health if you had boundaries. And if you are not able or willing to cut people out of your life when you recognize that they are toxic, that is a very big red flag that you struggle with boundaries. And if that is you, I encourage you to go to my channel and check out my playlist called Boundaries, in which I have a bunch of videos that can help you recognize why boundaries are so important, what they look like, how to set them, and how to enforce them. Okay, so just because you think boundaries aren't the issue does not mean that boundaries aren't the issue. So number one is that you're going to continuously struggle to attract healthy people and to foster healthy relationships in your life, in every facet of your life, whether this is a romantic relationship, a friendship, a co-working relationship, a relationship with your boss, members of your church, whatever it may be, you are going to struggle to have healthy relationships until you learn boundaries. And if you cannot set a boundary and cut somebody out of your life who you know is toxic for sure, then you are going to continuously face this same scenario and others like it until you learn the lesson. Life will continuously put you in situations until you learn the lessons that are needed in order to move on to the next phase of your life. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is that it is natural to grieve the loss of a relationship. It is natural to mourn the loss of the future that you had planned for that relationship, the dreams that you thought you would do together, or even just the longing of a place to belong. It is okay to grieve that loss, but if you aren't willing to allow yourself to really process those feelings and to go through the grieving process, you're going to get stuck in the process of your recovery. So if you continuously are around the person and the situation, the environment that you are grieving, you're not going to be able to heal. So number two, that's the other reason why it is essential that you go no contact, that you have strong boundaries in place before you do anything else. Something I want to make sure that I point out is that this is not necessarily forever. There might be a point in time when you can have contact with the narcissist. Let's say it's a family member, a sibling or a parent, and you want to have Thanksgiving together as a family. For a season, you may have to go no contact, and you may need to set the boundaries of During these holidays, these are the amount of times that I will spend with my family, around my family. Here's the person or people that I'm bringing with me to support me. Here are the ways that I'm going to implement my boundaries when I'm in that environment and protect myself so that the rest of my day or week or month or year or whatever isn't derailed by being in their presence. But first, you need to have the space in order to practice those skills. If you don't understand how to use life skills, how to implement them, you are not going to just be able to wake up one day and go into this environment that is very toxic, and it's toxic for anybody regardless of how strong their boundaries are, but especially for somebody who has never implemented them, and expect to be able to implement them flawlessly and have none of that impact coming with you once you are out of that environment again. So understanding that is also essential. But more important than all of this stuff that I'm talking about right now, setting up boundaries, understanding the atmosphere that you're in, understanding that there's seasons for your life, all of that kind of stuff, the real thing that I want to get to here, the root of this issue, is I want to know why. Why do you feel the need to have and maintain contact with somebody that you know is toxic? And for a lot of people, when you start asking yourself that question of why, if you feel that you are unworthy, if you're worried that you will never find another person who could complete you in such a way like the narcissist could, or you're worried that that would mean the end of a friendship or a relationship or whatever, if the answer is yes, if that's going to be the end of that, what have you lost? And what potential do you have to gain by making space for a healthy relationship to exist where that toxic one is currently? Every time you say no to something, you say yes to something else, and vice versa. So if you say yes to the toxic relationship, you're saying no to a potential healthy new relationship. You're saying no to a future and a life that you want to live in. You're saying no to your value and your worth. You're teaching other people how to treat you by the way that you treat your own self. And so if you aren't able to fully cut out toxic relationships, people, circumstances, situations, and environments from your life, you are going to teach people that that is acceptable. You're going to continuously draw those types of people and situations into your life. And ultimately here, this is something that only you get to make the decision on, because it's ultimately going to be you needing to implement the boundaries. You waking up and telling yourself that you are worthy of more every morning. You seeking out healthy people and learning how to do life with people in a healthy way that does not involve toxicity and chaos every step of the way. It has to do with you reconnecting to your true identity and your purpose in that. It has to do with you learning that chaos is not the normal, that peace should be your normal, and learning how to foster that environment within yourself as well, so that when you walk into situations, you bring the peace that you want to have manifesting there. That even if everybody else wants to draw you into chaos, that if you are around narcissists or their flying monkeys, that you are able to maintain and hold your position, that they have no control over you. And that only happens when you've learned how to do life in a healthy way. You are not going to learn how to do life in a healthy way in the toxic environment. So removing yourself from that is absolutely going to be necessary in order to reform your behaviors, your patterns of behavior, your habits, your thoughts, and reestablish your emotional baseline. And again, this all has to do with reconnecting to your identity, and so that when you go into an environment, you know who you are, and the environment doesn't shape you. The environment doesn't impact you. The environment doesn't tell you who you are, or how much you're worth, or what your value is, or what you can think or feel or say. You will be able to walk into that environment and tell the environment who you are and what you expect to receive in that environment. And again, you cannot learn that in an unhealthy environment. So I hope that I've made this crystal clear about whether or not you can heal while you are in a relationship with a narcissist. I do want to caveat this and say sometimes it's impossible for you to go no contact, and that's fine. There's certainly steps that you can take while you are still in a relationship with a narcissist to start forming the foundation of your new life, of your healthy life. There absolutely are. I've got lots of videos that speak about this. Number one is, again, learning your worth, dreaming again, thinking about the things that you want to have in your life, and understanding that you can take steps every day to start building those things, to start implementing that foundation, so that once you are able or are strong enough to leave the narcissist or to leave the abusive environment, that you have somewhat of a foundation that you can start building upon, that you can take it from there once you get into the healthy environment. Even if you're not able to go no contact with the narcissist, it's essential that you put up boundaries. And even if you aren't physically together with a narcissist, they think that your time, your energy, and all of your resources are theirs. Narcissists are energy vampires, and they will take everything that you have unless you are able to start implementing boundaries. So that's step number one, whether you're in the environment of the narcissist or you're outside of that environment, but you still have contact with them. Until you are able to set and enforce boundaries, you're going to find yourself being drained and abused the same way that you were when you were in the environment physically with the narcissist. So again, boundaries aren't just in the natural. So these don't just have to do with I live here and you live there. This also has to do with your emotional and your mental access, the things that you allow the narcissist to have access to in your emotions and your mental state, as well as in the spiritual realm. You need to learn how to take authority over your own spirit and soul so that the narcissist cannot access you, cannot just come into your environment in any of the realms, in any dimension, and take from you. So again, boundaries are super important. Understanding your worth and knowing your identity are going to be keys to help you implement the boundaries and to help you understand that you can leave that relationship. You can leave that environment. You aren't meant to be in that atmosphere, and it's only up to you. You are the one who controls your life, who controls your destiny. And if you continuously find reasons why you can't do X, Y, and Z, that's going to be the answer. But if you're looking for a solution, if you're looking for a way forward, you're going to find that too. It's all up to you. Your perspective, your motivation, your dedication to your process, to your life, and to becoming the person that you were created to be is ultimately what holds and drives the outcome of your situation. So I hope this video has helped you understand the effects of remaining in a relationship or remaining in the same atmosphere as a narcissist while you're trying to heal from narcissistic abuse. And again, once again, I'm Dr. Angel Storm. I'm the founder of Ashes to Beauty Ministries, and if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel below and turn on the little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel.